All right, I got to drink a little coffee. Just give me a second. Coffee is the only thing that sometimes clears my throat. Since I am no longer at the factory job that I had recently, now it is time for my throat to heal. I really didn't realize you weren't supposed to be breathing in this stuff. Nobody told me this. And I'm slowly but surely getting my voice back. So I'm glad I no longer work there. I'm glad I work in an office building. So I found this today, and this was really, really, really interesting. You see, what I keep saying is that we are looking at a time of real world assets. This will no longer be what I'm hinting at is I believe, oh, I love coffee. I believe that what we're going to see in the not too distant future is we're going to see super cycles. Instead of every 4 years, I believe that some assets like XRP are going to continue to go up and up and up because while we have this constant usage, you know, while we have this, I tried to, what do I try to liken XRP as? I was just saying recently that XRP is literally like the blood in your body. That's exactly what it is. It is the blood of the new financial body. That's exactly what it is. And you know that without blood and without the blood being in its perfect volume and perfect flow for your body, you're not going to do very well. Well, we need a frictionless economic blood flowing in the new financial system. We have to have a new financial. People have no idea. They have no idea. I remember, if I find it, I will link it. I'm pretty sure I will find it. If I remember, it was a 60 minutes video, and they showed that the Internal Revenue Service was still using those big tapes that they put in the wall. I was literally shocked. I guess they run off of magnets or something. I don't know what that old technology is. The IRS is still not modernized. People don't understand this. I saw another video, our very same government. I think they were showing that Social Security is done to this day by paper, and paper, the paper, all the files and the claims and all this stuff is literally stored underground in a mountain, in a fucking, excuse my French, in a former bunker that businesses use and the government use. We are so behind technologically. People have no idea how behind the United States is. I remember a buddy of mine was telling me she's like a passport sis, but she goes to Africa all the time. That's her main thing, right? She was telling me how when she went to file police reports or when she went to different African offices, she was like, she walked in the door and some of these places were like same thing, like they were stuck in the 1950s. File cabinets everywhere. She said the internet was horrible. They had a hard time finding records. People have no idea that the world needs to take another leap forward. This is the reason behind blockchain technology. This is exactly the reason why. Instead of all this paper and all this nonsense and you will be able to put everything on a blockchain. They already are doing this. They already been doing this, right? It will save you so much money. It will save the government paper. People have no idea, how many millions of pounds of paper is being stored by the United States government. Just think about that for a minute. And how much physical money is there on planet Earth? Just think about that for a minute. And I said before that I used to be a Brinks driver. I used to lift the money on the truck with the forklift. I used to drive the truck. I'm talking about heavy quarters and dimes and pennies and fucking, excuse my French, gold bars, gold coins, silver bars, silver coins. I did all of that. So I have an inkling of how labor intensive it is to procure the raw materials, to make the money, to guard it, to create it, to sort it, to ship it, to guard it again. We are living in an old system that needs to be replaced, right? And I will not argue with you Christians. You Christians, the first thing you will say is the mark of the beast. And I don't believe the New Testament is real. That will not be a theological discussion. I will never believe in that book. I only believe in the Old Testament. And if there really was the mark of the beast, you know what that would be? It would be the dollars in your hand, because they all have a mark in it. And you don't own it. And that won't be a discussion. We know who owns that money and who controls that money. So anyway, XRP payments is coming to 6,000 U.S. pharmacies in new $50 million healthcare deal. Wellgistics aims to cut transaction times from days to seconds by integrating XRP, disrupting pharmacy payment systems, by Liam, looks like Akiba Wright. This comes from cryptoslate.com. Pharmaceutical supply chain and technology firm Wellgistics Health has announced it will integrate XRP as a treasury asset and payment infrastructure across its pharmacy network. The $50 million capital facility, structured as an equity line, was arranged through LDA Capital, a private alternative investment group with prior involvement in crypto-backed funding strategies. The agreement allows Wellgistics to draw funds at its discretion, potentially issuing shares in exchange for capital. The move positions the firm to accelerate the deployment of its XRP-powered payment framework across over 6,000 independent pharmacies and over 150 contracted manufacturers worldwide. Worldwide. This is the real world use case that we keep talking about. This is not meme coin nonsense. I'm not saying that you can't do good with a meme coin. What I'm saying is it is literally a casino. So the meme coin is the casino where a lot of people lose. And a real world asset is an asset where a lot of people are going to gain. It just takes a little bit of time. That's all it is. XRP will serve dual functions in the system. First, as a balance sheet holding, and second, as the native asset to facilitate on-ledger payments between pharmacies, distributors, and manufacturers. By operating through the XRP ledger, Logistics aims to bypass traditional ACH systems and reduce transaction times from days to seconds. Automatic clearinghouse, that's whenever you receive your paycheck into your checking account. That's automatic clearinghouse. It takes too damn long. And sometimes there is problems, right? By operating through the XRP ledger, Logistics aims to bypass traditional ACH systems and reduce transaction times from days to seconds while cutting transaction fees to fractions of a cent, according to statements from company executives. The model is designed to provide faster rebate settlements and credit provisioning for pharmacy providers, potentially improving liquidity and operational efficiency. Well, Logistics CEO said in the announcement, I strongly believe that our XRP initiative positions Logistic Health years ahead of the curve and squarely at the center of where healthcare and fintech converge. Did we not tell you that everybody's going to be using XRP and XLM in the background? You're just not going to know that it's there. In other words, what they've been saying is we are going into a world where we're going to have micropayments, meaning that at the end of every day, if you want to, you can get paid for the 8 hours or the 10 hours or how many hours that you work. You press a button, boop, it'll show up in your bank account. It will be that fast. No more waiting for automatic clearinghouse. That's old, outdated technology. So, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Real use cases. The market is going to go from speculation into utility. And once we reach optimal utility, I would say once we start doing billions a day, or once we start doing $1 trillion a day, where do you think XRP is going to head? It cannot be low forever. Closing it out, like somebody said, if you want to send $1 million to somebody, you don't want to procure 1 million tokens. It'll be the same result. It will still, you still be able to send it, they'll receive it, and it will clear within 5 seconds. You know, like you can send XRP to a recipient, they'll send it, receive it, and let's say they want it to turn into Great British Pound or Chinese Yuan or the Philippine Peso or the Mexican Peso. It will still be able to do this within seconds. But instead of sending that $1 million at $1 each, you would really want to send $1 million when XRP is $100 each. You would be able to procure it a lot faster, easier, and it would be less friction. When this ledger gets to $1 trillion a day, every single day, what do you think the price is going to be? Excuse me. This is why I said $100 to $500. I don't know when, but you have to understand it's going to get there. I know it's going to get there. And then we're talking about $1,000 to $10,000. This is the road that I'm talking about. This is how we're going to get to that road. We're going to get to that road by utility. So XRP is coming to 6,000 U.S. pharmacies. 6,000. And a lot of people, you walk down the street, you ask them a simple question, have you ever heard of XRP? And they look at you like, What is that? I guess that's good. Everybody ain't going to get rich, you know what I'm saying? And I am here to get rich. I am here to retire. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of working. So I say $2.50 or whatever the hell it is. It's a steal. And I think the progression is from here is $5 real soon. I'm sorry, $3 real soon. 5, 10, 20. And we're just going to keep on going up this year. How high, I don't know. But we are due for an imminent explosion. We really are. I woke up today and I saw that my proton was literally bam, up. What did I do? Yeah, I did. It was up $250. That quick, I was like, wow, bam. We are headed into alt season. I hope y'all got some skin in the game, right? I hope you do.